What's up, everybody? It's Sam here from the Gambling Corner podcast. And before we get to your scheduled program, I'm here to tell you about Anchor. It's now easier than ever to start your own podcast. Their free app gives you everything you need to get your podcast off the ground. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or computer. And if you're worried about getting your podcast heard, don't worry. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. What's up, everybody? My name's Sam and this is the Gambling Corner, brought to you by Fat Lad Sports. Today is Thursday, April the 1st, and on today's show we're going to go over the weekend's football. We'll also be joined by the star of the show, Mr. Liam Doe, to get his thoughts and picks on the upcoming action over the weekend. Before we get to that, today's episode of the podcast is sponsored by Booney's Bakes. Booney's Bakes make the best batch of homemade brownies you can get your hands on. Coming in 6 or 12 slices, they make triple chocolate, salted caramel, raspberry and white chocolate, orange and Nutella, and Gillian. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but you know the chocolates I mean, they're the posh ones that are shaped like shells. You can mix and match your order, make a suggestion, and Kat at Booney's Bakes may very well add your flavour to her amazing array. I've had the 12 slice box, and let me tell you, they were gone in minutes. If you've got a sweet tooth like me, then order a batch and tell me you've had better. Everything bar the Nutella obviously is homemade, right down to the salted caramel and orange curd. Prices start from £9 and you can find them by searching for Booney's Bakes on Instagram and Facebook and get your brownies shipped to you anywhere in the UK. Why gamble when you can bet on Booney's Bakes? Alright, let's get to it. Here is Mr. Liam Doe. Hello, Mr. Doe.
Hello, mate. How are we?
Not too bad. How are you?
All good, mate. Thank God international break is done with.
Yeah, I'm very glad to be back.
Definitely, mate.
Very glad to be back. Do you know what I did last night?
I saw on the socials you're up to about 2, weren't you, watching basketball?
No, I was handicapping college football.
College football?
Yep.
There we go.
And I actually have a pick on some college football that I quite like.
So when's that back then?
Now?
Oh, I didn't realise their season was already going.
Yeah, it's more the small schools than anything else.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, I have a pick on that I quite like, and a handicap that I think you'll quite enjoy hearing.
Nice.
It was very therapeutic last night to actually sit and do American football.
Bit different to the soccer.
Yeah, it was very, very therapeutic. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Happy days, mate. At least club football's back and we're ready to rock and roll again.
Yes, definitely. So we shall go through Saturday's Premier League games, Sunday's Premier League games, and then sort out what picks we have and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right. I haven't written anything for what I've got picks on, obviously, as we normally do, so...
Yeah, we'll save the picks till the end, as per usual, which takes out the 2 earlier kickoffs for me on Saturday. I've got something with the Chelsea and the Manchester City Leicester game.
Yeah.
So after that, we've got it's sandwiched in between those. We've got Leeds, Sheffield United.
Yes, well, I've got a pick on the Leicester game, Leicester Man City, and the Chelsea West Brom game. So I've written something about the Leeds game, so we'll leave that. Which leaves us with Arsenal and Liverpool at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I had a lean towards Liverpool. I think there'll be goals. Again, both seem to score 8 to 13 and over 2.5 at 8 to 11. Neither side have got. Both sides have got a lot of defensive insecurities this season, so should be a decent game. But I lean Liverpool and I lean goals. That was all I'd written on that.
Yeah, similar to me, mate. Yeah, both teams to score. I still tend to, even with Liverpool's failures away from home, they seem to be doing a lot better than what they have been at home. So I'm with you on that department. If I had to lean away, I'd lean with goals and lean to Liverpool as well.
Yeah, well, that takes us all the way to Sunday because we haven't got anything else. So
yeah, Sunday's games we've got.
Try to find my piece of paper. There we go.
12 o'clock, big matchup of Southampton versus Burnley.
Yeah, I'd be stunned. All I wrote was look towards the unders, and I'd be stunned if it was a goal fest.
Yeah, no, I did. I watched Southampton against Bournemouth in the FA Cup prior to the international break, and I did like the way Southampton were playing. I said in previous pods, people were kind of talking them down a little bit, but considering their record, it actually wasn't as bad as what people were making out. Yeah. So there may be a bit more value in the Southampton side there. Burnley have obviously had their struggles with injuries up top that we've mentioned previously. So I'd like you said, I'd lead under goals, but probably if I had to go away with it, I'd go Southampton as well.
Yeah.
And then after that one, we've got Newcastle Spurs, which we've both got something on. So we'll leave that one.
Yeah, people will be shocked to find out I've got a pick against Newcastle.
Same again. And then Aston Villa Fulham.
Yeah.
At 4:30.
I had a small lean again towards Villa, dependent on Grealish. I think there'd be goals, but you could see a draw at 9-4 is not an unlikely result, or over 2.5 at 11-10 wasn't the most unlikely of outcomes. So yeah, like I said, lean Villa, but nothing very exciting on it.
Yeah, the only thing with Fulham, they don't seem to score many at all.
No.
So in their last 5, they've only managed to score once, being at home against Leeds. Away from home, they haven't scored. Oh, they beat Liverpool, to be fair, during their struggles. But yeah, they just don't tend to score too many. There's going through their fixtures, just as we're talking now, there's so many games 0-0s, losing to 0 and stuff. So I saw Grealish's tweet about being back training during the international break, so possibly potential for him to be back, which would just make me like Villa even more. And that'd be one I'd probably be looking, if I had to bet it, to go draw no bet or win to 0 for Aston Villa. If it came down to it, I'd definitely lean that side, just because Fulham are struggling to score and have been all season, really. And then the Sunday evening game is Manchester United Brighton.
Yeah, I've actually got a little lean towards Brighton. Excuse me.
Okay.
I have a funny feeling it might be a bit of a flat spot for United, to be honest with you, because they have the Europa League quarterfinals coming up Thursday.
Yeah.
Brighton are actually in decent form. Brighton needs a result more than Man United. I'm not talking much. I'm talking like a couple of quid.
Yeah, small one. Even if you put it in something else that you liked for Sunday with a Brighton double chance, you'd get good odds on the double chance, wouldn't you? If you're feeling similar towards what Sam was saying with the lean and the letdown spot, which definitely has potential.
Yeah, and almost sixes. You're gonna get plus money probably on a double chance.
Oh yeah,
as well.
definitely. You're probably looking at evens at the lowest on the double chance there for Brighton side, but yeah, it all depends really for United. I know Martial picked up a bit of a knock as well. I'm not sure if Cavani's back, so that may potentially be one that you look at the team sheet. They might end up running out a couple of youngsters and resting a couple for the Europa League. So yeah, there's definitely potential to maybe look towards Brighton double chance, or maybe Brighton just to win, depending on the United team.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it might be worth, a quarter of your normal unit, maybe just because of the letdown spot and stuff. So we'll see. Yeah,
and then we've got a couple on Monday, but are we saving those for Monday's podcast, or should we just go over them because they're Premier League games?
No, I reckon we'll save them for Monday.
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah,
because then we've got everything from Monday forward is going to be covered on the podcast on Sunday.
Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, we're blessed with club football over this weekend. We've got a full set of fixtures: Championship, League 1, League 2, on Friday and Monday, and then obviously the Premier League games that we went through, and European football as well on the Saturdays and Sundays. So we've got plenty to pick from.
Yes, so if we take our first little break and then we'll come back with our picks and what we lean, what we like, what we don't like, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Get some picks.
Let's go.
So I have actually got 6 picks because obviously we got our wires crossed about what we were doing for the pod. So I went back and then found 2 more picks that I liked, which I'm glad about because going into it I had 4 picks and sort of like a half lean.
Yeah.
So let me try and find my piece of paper with. Yeah, so my 6th weighted pick was actually the Chelsea Man City straight win double.
Yeah.
Which was 4-5, which has now drifted a little to 6-5. 5-6, sorry. The handicap on City pretty much writes itself with their wins and lack of conceding goals and blah, 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 blah. It's actually more of a play on the fact that we've actually got some semi-decent odds on City. They're into 1-2, where they've been obviously 1-3, 1-4. 1-5 in certain spots, so I like that. And they're away at Leicester, obviously, which is a difficult game, but I still like City to win it. And then the Chelsea side of things was similar. They don't concede many goals. West Brom aren't a very good team. I like Chelsea to win. I didn't particularly like anything with a little bit more value on Chelsea in terms of like to score 2 or more goals or team total over 2.5 and stuff like that. So
yeah.
That was my least weighted pick, was because it looked so obvious and it took the least amount of time for me to write a handicap for, basically. So yeah, that was my 6th weighted pick, which is obviously there's a reason why it's a 6th weighted pick. It's because I liked it the least, because I put the least amount of work into it. So.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And my 5th weighted pick was. Let's try and find it. Hull to beat Crewe on Friday.
Yeah.
Which they are currently 6-5. So I went back to the start of January for both the games, both the teams, Hull and Crewe. And Hull have played 6 more games than Crewe. So of Hull's 22 games they've won 12, drawn 7 and lost 3. By contrast, Crewe have won 5, lost 5 and drawn 6 of their 16 games. It's top against 14th, which is another matchup we like. But 14th place Crewe are only 7 points off the playoffs. I didn't quite realise how much of a congested league that was.
It very much is, yeah, and there's a lot of teams with kind of games in hand and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's still a lot to play for pretty much every team in that league.
Yeah, and I found a little thing about Hull that I like I like their spots for this game and the next 2 games.
Okay.
It's a big game for Hull, obviously, because they're top, but then by no means certain to go up at this stage. It's actually a big game, big weekend for all 3 of the top sides in that league. With Sunderland breathing down their neck.
Yeah, just for a bit of context on that one. Obviously, Sunderland have been a team that we've played on constantly for about the last 4 or 5 weeks because of their form. Sunderland are in 3rd, played 2 games less than Hull and are 3 points behind them. And then Peterborough are 1 point behind Hull with a game in hand as well. So Hull definitely need to be winning these games if they're going to go up automatically.
Yeah, that was something that I really liked about that, was the spot for Hull. Hull in this game and their next 2, I really, really like their position on it. Because as you say, they have to keep winning to keep the pressure on Sunderland and on Peterborough.
Yeah.
So I liked that spot there, but they've got a game after. They've got this game on Friday, a game Monday, and then the next game on Saturday. But then they have a game 3 days before they play Sunderland at home. So I think there's a way we can get Hull for this game, the next one, and the next one, and then bet against them somehow for that game 3 days before they play Sunderland, which is obviously the look-ahead spot of look-ahead spots.
Yeah, well, they've got the Tuesday night, they've got Sunderland, and then they've got Lincoln on the Saturday away from home as well. So
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, there's definitely potential to look at that in a few weeks' time. But yeah, that's a solid pick.
But I really like that pick this week because of where they are and it's pretty much a must not lose for Hull, isn't it? So
well, yeah, being unbeaten in 7, they won 5 in a row and then drew the last 2. But generally speaking, their home form's quite good. They've won 3 of the last 4. So you like the look of Hull, especially at 6-5.
Yeah, so that was my 5th weighted pick. So if we go with your 5th weighted pick.
Okay, my 5th weighted pick is on Sunday, and this is a Spurs and Monaco double, which comes out at 1.26 to 1. So the Spurs side of it, I'm sure you'll touch on it in a little bit. I don't tend to look into the Newcastle side too much, as you being a Newcastle fan. Obviously, no win in 6 and lost 3 of those games, and only 2 wins in 2021. Losing 8 games kind of speaks for itself for Newcastle. And then Spurs, I don't know, I didn't really realise this. They're actually only 3 points off the top 4. Which, when you think of Spurs this season, you think kind of mid-table, almost cut adrift a little bit, not really in contention for that top 4, but I didn't realise personally that they're only 3 points off, so this is a huge game for them, which makes me like it even more. Before the Arsenal loss, they'd obviously won 3 in a row, and we did mention them liking to play against worse sides, and kind of the bullies against worse sides. You get the same in the NFL, don't you? They just kind of run up the score against the poor sides, really. So I like Spurs against the poorer sides, and Newcastle being one of those. I like the look of the Spurs side a lot, so that's one half of the double. Then the other half is Monaco versus Metz. They've got Metz at home. So these are just 2 contrasting teams form-wise since the start of the year. So since the start of the year, Monaco have won 10, drawn 2 and lost 1. And at home in 2021, they've won 4, drew 2, lost 0. One of those draws being against Lille, who were top of the table at the time. And then Metz on the other side have just been going down and down, really. Their last 7 they've played, they've won 2, drawn 1, lost 4. No win in their last 3 and lost the last 2. So I like the Monaco at home side a lot, and with the Spurs double coming out at 1.26 to 1, I didn't mind that at all as a double.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. That's nice. A nice, strong double.
That's my 5th weighted pick.
Okay, doke. My 4th weighted pick is actually Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
To play Lille, to beat Lille. It's top versus second. Just trying to find my piece of paper where I've written it down. There we go. Again, it's more of an odds play, is because when do we get PSG even close to even money in the league?
Yeah.
Especially at home. They beat the same opposition 3-0 3 weeks previously with no Neymar in the squad at all. And Mbappe was only on the bench. PSG have 10 wins in 14 games, 31 goals scored, 12 goals conceded. The top of the table, obviously, now level on points. Obviously, we had them as part of a bet when they lost to Nantes, but that was under sort of very trying circumstances. So, we kind of let them off for that. So I think you you can scratch that one. So I like the PSG side of things. Lille, on the other hand, are a bit hit and miss, winning 3 of their last 10, drawing 3 and losing 4. That was including 2 losses to Ajax in the Europa League. They've only scored 13 goals. There's a slight possibility of a look-ahead spot for PSG, obviously with Bayern Munich coming up in the week. But if they want to win the league, then they have to win this game, and they can't really afford to look forward to the Champions League game on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever night they play. So I like PSG just straight on their own at 4-6.
Yeah, it seems a solid pick. Seems a solid pick indeed. Obviously, Lille done quite well in the league this year to be on level points with PSG. That's the only kind of reason they've got. PSG have got a bit of value. They're actually on the same points after 30 games, which is a irregularity in the French league. It's already wrapped up by now, usually. So yeah, that's like a solid pick. Obviously, yeah. The only thing for me is that look-ahead spot potentially for PSG being against Bayern, and now knowing Bayern haven't got Lewandowski makes their chances a lot better for a little run in the Champions League and potentially beating Bayern. That'd be the only potential thing on the other side, whereas Lille, this is all or nothing for them, isn't it?
Yes, cup final, isn't it, really, for Lille, I suppose?
Yeah, that's the only problem with it from my end, but when you get value on PSG, more times than not, it's going to come in, especially domestically anyway.
Is Lewandowski out of the Leipzig game at the weekend? Well, he's officially ruled out.
For 3 weeks.
Right.
4 weeks, I believe. He's supposed to miss both of them. I saw on Facebook. Don't know if it was the most trustworthy piece of information, but he's set to miss both the PSG games. So that would be quite big for them.
Yeah, because I was sort of thinking that Bayern might have been one of my picks this week, regardless of whether they had Lewandowski. They just seem to, whenever they face adversity, they seem to pull it out the bag. But yeah, without Lewandowski, I like it less, especially against Leipzig.
Yeah, here we go. BBC Sport out for a month with his knee injury, so that means he's going to miss both PSG games. Yeah, might be something to look into when we get to those.
Well, does that make it less of a look ahead spot without their number one goal scoring threat?
I potentially think it plays into PSG's favour. Obviously, having him out, I think they're looking forward to it a lot more than what they would have been coming up against a bloke who scored however many goals in however many games this year. I think that they'd be looking at it even more now with a bit more confidence that they could actually beat them without him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only problem with it that I saw from my end. Just the cup final kind of aspect for Lille. This is probably their best chance to win the league in 10 years. I don't know when the last time they won the league was, but it wasn't any time recently. So this is a proper cup final for them. So that was your number 4, was it?
That was my number 4.
So my 4th weighted pick has Chelsea win, Wolfsburg win against Cologne, and Man City double chance against Leicester. Coming in just over even money at 1.02 to 1. So obviously you touched on the Chelsea and Man City game. I'll just go into it a little bit. Just as a single, Chelsea are 1 to 5, so obviously you need other teams in there if you're going to play on Chelsea. But we've spoke previously on pods against the change since Tuchel's come in. Defensively ridiculous. The 10 games in the league, 6 wins, 4 draws, 8 clean sheets. Only conceded 2 in 10 games. So coming up against the West Brom side that struggle to score, and then coming against probably the best defence since Tuchel's come in, I can't see West Brom scoring. So even a potential for, if you wanted to play it by itself, Chelsea to win to 0 won't be the best odds in the world because of their defensive record and playing against West Brom. But if you wanted just like a single on the early kickoff for Saturday, potential for that. But West Brom side of it, last 10, 1-1, drew 4, lost 5. So considering they've had a bit of an easier run, not very good, last 4 away from home, lost 3, drawn 1. So, yeah, Chelsea at home against West Brom should be an easy one there. Leicester, Man City. The only thing I didn't want to put Man City just as a straight win, and I went with double chance just because of Leicester's form. Even with the injuries, they've been playing really well. 4 wins in their last 6. So one of them games being a loss at home to Arsenal, so maybe a little bit overvalued as well. I've put down here because those 4 wins out of the last 6 would come up against Villa, who are struggling without Grealish and been in a bit dodgy form. One being against Liverpool, who have obviously had their troubles. Brighton and Sheffield United, so potentially overvalued a little bit. And then the Man City side speaks for itself, isn't it? 8 straight away wins. Last 17 games, 16 wins, 1 loss against Man United at home. So I just liked it a little bit more with the double chance, just to be a bit safer, because I thought if any of these 3 games is going to slip up for me, it'll be them. And then the third pick is Wolfsburg again, who I've played on previously. Don't need to touch on too much, but last 10 games, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Speaks for itself. 8 clean sheets, very similar to kind of Chelsea, and unbeaten at home all season. So they're good at home. They're 3rd in the league, playing 16th Cologne. And Cologne, no winning 6, losing 4 of those, and 3 away losses in a row. So that's pretty much a similar kind of handicap to the Chelsea-West Brom game. If you don't pay too much attention to the Bundesliga, that'd be as close to Chelsea-West Brom that you could find in the Bundesliga, really. So Wolfsburg win, Chelsea win, and Man City double chance against Leicester is my 4th weighted pick.
Well, I really like that, so I think that one goes straight into our 5 because obviously we have a 2-parter of that. We, two of the 3 of yours were on the same side, so I think that goes straight in. But I also like it with the Wolfsburg because, and the City double chance, and that gets us over that even money. I do like that an awful lot. I think there was a very, very, very strong handicap there. So I think that's going to go straight into our 5. Definitely. Let me just write that one down. So Chelsea, Wolfsburg, and Man City double chance. Right, well, that's straight in the 5. I think that's a fantastic. It was a really good handicap, that. So we're on to what, 3 weight picks? Yeah. So our 3rd weight pick was Bolton. I don't know whether the price has come in on that. When I looked at it, it was 7 to 10. That was
similar to me when I looked yesterday. While you talk about Bolton, I'll have a little look just to see if they've changed.
Yeah, and again, we've said about Bolton and their form till we're blue in the face. It's more, for me, when I dug into Colchester's away form, it's the worst in League 2. They have 12 points from 19 games with a minus 19 goal difference. And Bolton, if results go their way, they can go 2nd with a game in hand on Cambridge. It's a pretty big game again for Bolton because there's only 1 point separating all 4 teams in the playoffs. So from that reason, from Colchester's away form and Bolton's sort of must not lose position at the moment, I really liked their chances to win that. And say Colchester have actually won 1 game in 22, scored 11 and conceded 30. They've lost 12 and drawn 9 of those 22, and their last win was 8 games ago against Carlisle. There's no real look-ahead spot for Bolton. I had a look at their running. And all things considered, they've got a tidy enough running. But what we are seeing is now we're slowly seeing that value being chipped away on Bolton. It's slowly but surely coming down and down and down and down and down. But for essentially a 70% return on your investment, I quite like.
Well, I've got them as part of one of mine as well. So Bolton will be in one of our picks, definitely. They've dropped down to 4 to 6 since yesterday. So there's obviously going to be a little bit of money on the Bolton side of it. There's definitely going to be a lot of actors, I would say.
Yes, when people put their accumulators on tomorrow, they will go Bolton, and it will go in the accumulator.
So, third weighted pick for myself. I believe they're all on Saturday as well. First of all, well, it's a treble. It's Porto win at home against Santa Clara, Real Madrid win at home versus Eibar, and Napoli home win versus Crotone, coming out at 0.92 to 1. So, as the treble, just straight up wins. Porto versus Santa Clara at home, 8:30 on Saturday, that one is. They're 3 points clear of Benfica. Obviously, we spoke about Champions League spots previously in the pod. So, they need to win these kind of home games just to stay clear of Benfica at the moment. They're also unbeaten in 18 and unbeaten at 10 at home. They've lost their last loss was in October, and they've won 4 of their last 5 games. The one they didn't win being 0-0 against Sporting Lisbon, who are obviously top at the moment. And then Santa Clara side lost the last 2 away from home. Their record versus the top, the 6 teams above them, 2 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. So Porto at home should be pretty much set in stone on that side. And then the second part, Real Madrid versus Eibar at home. Madrid unbeaten in 7, winning 5 of those. Only 1 loss in 17. And on the Eibar side, no win in 11 and lost 7 of those 11. So don't really need to speak about that too much. Madrid in good form at home. So I like that side a lot. Then the final part of that is Napoli versus Crotone. Napoli are 5th, Crotone obviously bottom. We played against them when they played Lazio away from home. Napoli are in good form, won 4 of their last 5 and drawing the other. And 5 home wins in a row. They're only 2 points behind Juve and Atalanta and have a game in hand over Atalanta. So to get into that top 4 in Italy obviously gets you Champions League. So they're going to want to be beating bottom at home in their good form. And then Crotone on the other side, terrible away from home. Their away record this season, 0 wins, 2 draws, 12 losses, so 2 points in 14 games. Last 10 games just in general, 9 losses, 1 win at home against Torino, who have been struggling as well. So pretty terrible form against the informed Napoli side. Napoli at home, very good at home anyway. So that treble was Real Madrid to win, Napoli to win, and Porto to win, just under even money. And that was my third weighted pick.
I like that. I do like that. I love the
it's more the fact that obviously, as I say, Napoli got something to play for, 2 points behind Juve and Atalanta. This could be classed as one of their games in hand, must-win game. Porto, 3 points clear of Benfica in the Champions League spots at the moment. Need to win these games at home. Very good at home. Haven't lost since October. And then Madrid still all to play for already in the Liga as well, isn't it? They're not too far away from Atletico. 2 points behind Barca. Need to be beating Eibar at home. So it's not one of these games where that none of those games have nothing on. They all have something riding on it, which makes me like it even more.
Yes.
They're all big games for them.
Excuse me. Right. My second weighted pick was Watford. Now, you said to me that when we talked about our picks that they've actually dropped down in price. When I looked and got them, they were 8 to 11.
Love that price down.
And they were... What were they? They're 1 to 2
was yesterday, so it might have even dropped since then.
Yeah, Watford's another team that you've been high on, haven't you?
4 or 5 of these teams that in the league have just been unbelievable
in recent weeks. Obviously, Bolton, Sunderland, Watford being a few, Barnsley as well, haven't they? The teams that we've been riding while they're in these good forms.
Yeah, Watford, the stats are 9 of 10 wins, lost 1, scoring 24, conceding 5. I liked the motivational spot for Watford. They're 6 points ahead of Swansea, who have played a game. Watford have played a game more. So it's not really a motivation. Sheffield Wednesday, again, another team that we've been low on and have played against. 1-2, lost 7, drawn 1 in the last 10. It was more, I liked Watford with this kind of game is because in their last 8 games, Watford have got to play Norwich, Reading, Brentford and Swansea. So it's kind of, again, a must not lose type scenario for Watford.
Before those last 4.
Yeah, and if you liked the fact that Sheffield Wednesday have scored 9 goals in their last 10 games, although they've only scored in 6 of them, you can get 6-5 for both teams to score, which is just a little tidbit that I added. But I really like Watford's spot for this game.
They're my 1 weighted pick as well. So yeah, we've got a double like there.
Are they? Yeah.
So my number 2 weighted pick also has a team in there with a double like, which is obviously Bolton Wanderers. So this double for me is Bolton Wanderers win against Colchester and Sunderland double chance against Oxford, coming out at just over even money, 1.07 to 1. So obviously both teams have been riding high. We've been playing on for the last few weeks now. For a reason, they're in very good form. The Bolton aspect is kind of touched, but it's very similar to the Monaco Mets situation. One team's gone from 19th to 4th since January, being Bolton, and Colchester have gone from 10th to 21st in the same time frame. So just both heading in opposite directions at the moment. Last 12 for Bolton, 11 wins, 1 draw. The draw being away from home, so 6 home wins in a row and 4 straight wins as well. And then the Bolton aspect, the Colchester side you obviously spoke about. Last 5, 4 losses, 1 draw. No away win in 13, losing 7 of those. And 1 win in 22, losing 12 of those. So I don't think they'll be looking forward to going away from home playing Bolton. The only thing, little bit that worries me is the early kickoff. You know how they treat you. That's actually 1 o'clock. So that'd be the only possible thing that could let us down. It'd be an early kickoff, and you know how that goes. If you're a better early kickoff, you try to stay away from. But yeah, in this side of it, I'm not too worried. And then Sunderland have got Oxford at home. And I've gone double chance just in case, because Oxford are very hit and miss. There seems to be quite a good side, and they're obviously in that playoff mix as well. But obviously the Sunderland side we've been playing off for weeks. Unbeaten in 14, winning 10 of those. Again, 6 clean sheets in 8. It's similar to the kind of Chelsea aspect. Very good at the back, obviously in very good form. And then Oxford looked, if you didn't really pay too much attention, they looked to be kind of in, obviously they're in the playoff mix, but not in the best form in the world. 3 wins in their last 10, drawn 4, lost 3. So only lost 3 in 10, which is why I've gone with a double chance, but 4 of those being draws, and only 1 away win in 5, losing 2, drawing 2 of those. So only the 1 away win isn't to worry about too much when you've got the double chance. They either tend to draw or lose away from home, but it's just a little bit safer when you go double chance, which I've said the last couple of weeks. You just feel a little bit safer with that in. And that was just with the Bolton pick, that just takes it up just over even money, which is what we're kind of looking towards.
Yeah, I like that as well. I didn't really like. I was looking for a way to get at Sunderland, and to be honest with you, I couldn't really find one.
Yeah, I was a bit hesitant to play just a straight win, which is why I've gone double chance. But I like the double chance a lot, being unbeaten in 14. They do tend to win a lot more than obviously 10 wins in 14. They tend to win these games anyway. They find a way of winning. It's more because they just don't tend to concede. So they're winning these games 1-0, 2-0.
Yeah.
But if they end up not scoring and you get the 0-0 or whatever and they still keep the clean sheet, we're laughing anyway, aren't we? So I still like to play Sunderland, but just with a double chance, you just get a bit more of a safety bracket there, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't mean like I was looking to get away at Sunderland and I couldn't find one in a dismissive kind of way. I mean, singularly on their own, I couldn't find a way to get really at Sunderland.
Seeing how well they've been doing as well.
Yeah, they're quite a public team, aren't they? My number one pick is Tottenham to score 2 or more against Newcastle, which was 8-11 when I checked. Now, since we were last on here, obviously there's been more disarray at Newcastle, and just going into that slightly is they look like they're down tools against Brighton. They made Brighton look like fucking Guardiola's Barcelona. They made them look like Guardiola's Mad City as well, to be fair. Kieran Clark actually said after the game, as a direct quote, as a group of players, we weren't up for it. So that makes me, one, as a fan, very fucking angry. And two, makes me want to play against Newcastle in every way possible. Bruce has then, since the international break, given the players 6 out of 9 days off. Yeah. There is player reports that they can't believe that Bruce has still got the job. Bruce apparently, again, according to the Northeast journalists, had discussed or had a very long think about his position after that Brighton game, and has determined that there is no one better suited than him to get them out of it, the position that they're in currently. Dwight Gale, who has made 2 Premier League starts all season, has just been offered a new 3-year deal at 31. So the club are obviously planning for relegation. So to my point 1 is I don't see any scenario where Newcastle win the game. And they have played 12 games against oppositions that I would say were decent in League and Cup. They've lost 8 of those 12, drawing 2 and winning 2. The 2 wins were against Everton. Of the 8 defeats, they've conceded at least 2 in each game. And of the 12, they've conceded 23 and scored 8. So if you don't like Tottenham just to score 2 goals, if you want Tottenham to win and no, you can get that at 13-8. But it was more a play on the disarray that's going on at Newcastle at the moment, which made me absolutely fucking love that bet.
You're the man in the know when it comes to those kind of things. And obviously you've got the stats and the quotes there to back that up. It sounds like an absolute mess.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like there's any kind of good feeling anywhere, and there's any feeling in the squad that they can get out of it. You looked at the body language after the Brighton game. I know Andy Carroll and Dwight Gale, they're not Premier League strikers, but neither is Joe Linton. So my feeling when I watched Carroll and Gale storm off the bench when they were unused substitutes against Brighton kind of told me all I needed to know about it. So, yeah, there's no way in hell I can see Newcastle winning that game, and I don't see how Tottenham don't score twice.
Gale in that regard, he's had a hell of a deal there. 3-year deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all we've got now is my first weighted pick, which is a double like on Watford as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's got another aspect in there just to boost up the odds. Because obviously, when I looked at it, Watford 1-2. We tried to get as close to that even money bracket as we can. So by doing that, I've gone Watford win and Ipswich double chance at home against Bristol Rovers, which takes it to 0.87 to 1. So just a tickle under your even money. So Watford you spoke about, but I'll go on to them a little bit more. Again, just 5 straight wins, 5 home wins in a row. Last 10, 9 wins, 1 loss. So that's all you really need to say about them. And previous, on the other side, Sheffield Wednesday won the previous game 2-1 away at Barnsley when we had a playoff Barnsley. The only thing we didn't look into that was that it was a local derby, which probably would have helped us stay away from that. And then before that, they drew 1-1 at Huddersfield, and before that, 9 straight losses in a row. So if you want to say unbeaten in 2, you can, but then you look at the 9 straight losses in a row before that, and that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. And the last 9 away from home, 7 losses, 2 wins. So I'm not too worried about Sheffield Wednesday, just because, like I said, previous pods, Watford, I think, have now figured out that they're actually a Premier League side, similar to Norwich. Their players are too good for that league, and I think they've finally kind of figured it out. They've played the Saturday, Tuesday. They're now coming off an international break. They've had a week off, so they're not going to be tired legs. I think they're going to be up for it. Playing against one of the worst sides in the league, I think they'll win by a couple. So I've got Watford, and then I've got Ipswich as a double chance. Since Cook's come in for Ipswich, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. But our saving grace is the home form. So last 5 at home, 3 wins, 2 draws, and 3 clean sheets in those games. So yeah, we don't tend to score, unfortunately. Whereas we'd be in the top 6 if we could actually score, because defensively we are quite solid. And we're coming up against 23rd Bristol Rovers. No goals in 3. Last away win was 5th of December. 4 away losses in a row as well. So with Ipswich's home form, Bristol Rovers really poor away form, not managing to score very many at all. Just going with a double chance, just in case Ipswich don't manage to score again. You're covered there, but I can't see Bristol Rovers getting away win at all. So I've gone double chance just to be extra safe, but there is potential there for Ipswich to win that game. And they need to, really, if they're going to get into the playoffs. But at least with a double chance, if we don't tend to score, I'd like to think we're going to keep a clean sheet, and then you're covered on that aspect either way. So first way you picked was Watford win, Ipswich double chance.
Okay, well I think our two of our top weighted picks obviously have to go straight in. So yeah, so we will reconvene in 1 minute. I think we need to do a quick little time shift piece, maybe. Just because that college football game is tonight at midnight. So I think we maybe need to do a quick little time shift, and then we'll come back with our picks. Right, so this will be a quick time shift for people.
Yeah.
Which will mean nothing to when we put this in the episode, but it will mean later on in the episode people will understand. I firstly wanted to say about the Zach Wilson to the Jets pick, which looks like a fucking dead cert now.
It does indeed.
Absolute fucking dead cert.
He's had a stormer at the combine. Everyone seems to be talking about him.
I just wanted to tell people as well to keep an eye out on the draft markets. If you can get exactly 3 or over 2.5, or under 3.5 quarterbacks in the top 10 of the draft. There's nothing on the board at the minute. Absolutely fucking gone. So I just wanted to say to people that keep a quick eye out for when the draft markets come back on, because if you can get exactly 3 in the top 10, then I would advise that you get on that as soon as possible. Also, exactly 5 first-round quarterbacks. I love that too. So just a quick one, but obviously we'll have a draft show, I imagine, anyway. So yeah. So as I said, 2 o'clock this morning, I just finished handicapping a college football game, which was very, very therapeutic to me. I actually like, you'll enjoy this, I think, Liam. Sam Houston are minus a 25.5 against Northwestern State. And I like Sam Houston minus the points at 10 to 11, 5 to 6, the general handicap prices that you get.
Yeah.
Sam Houston are 3-0 and are playing 0-4 Northwestern State. In those 3 games, Sam Houston has a point differential of plus 117.
Right.
Which is an average of 39 points a game.
Yeah.
Sam Houston quarterback Eric Schmidt in 3 games has thrown for 1,137 yards.
Jesus.
10 touchdowns from 101 attempts. So he's averaging 11 yards an attempt.
Right, yeah.
He's also rushed for 4 touchdowns from 21 attempts. Both teams have played Lamar. Northwestern State lost 23-31, but 16 of those points came in the fourth quarter, so they obviously went for 2 twice.
Yeah.
So going into the fourth quarter, they were 31-7 down. And in their last game, Sam Houston played Lamar. They beat Lamar 62-7.
Wow.
So clearly they're a level above.
Yeah, okay.
And Northwestern State's majority quarterback, because they seem to have at least 2 or 3 quarterbacks throwing in each game.
Yeah.
So I went with the QB who played in all 4 games. What the fuck was his name? It was Scooter Adams or something like that.
Proper American name.
It was a very American name, yes. I think his name was Scooter Adams. He was one of the 2 quarterbacks there. But anyway, whichever one he was, is 39 of 59 for 374 yards with 2 picks and 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
In 4 games. But Northwestern State, they've also got Scooter Adams is the name of the running back. Sorry, they have got a decent running back. He averages 84.7 yards per game, including 212 on the ground against Lamar. But Lamar gave up 154 yards on the ground to Sam Houston. So Sam Houston in their 3 games have given up a total of 254 yards on the ground, which is 84.6 on average, which makes me again lean to the under, because obviously they're a run first team. The under was 66.5. But I liked Sam Houston minus the points.
Yeah, that sounds like a very nice handicap.
Yeah, and that's at midnight tonight, and you can get that everywhere. That's not a book-specific bet. You can get all these college games on any betting app.
Yeah, the good thing about, obviously, Sky Bet, you'll go onto your American football and then college football. The good thing about
it's the same on Paddy Power and stuff like that.
Yeah, the good thing about Bet365, you literally search Northwestern. And then it just came up. Yeah, it just came up for me after I typed in Northwestern. So it's very easy to find.
Yeah, so that was my very therapeutic 2 hours last night looking up college football. So yeah, I like Northwestern minus 25.5. There was a few 27s around, but the general consensus was around 25.5. So if you can get 25.5, take 25.5. So
your pick, Sam Houston State minus 25.5.
Yes, which sounds absurd when we do American football.
Yeah.
But in this instance, I think it's warranted.
Sounds good, mate.
Right. Now we will shift forward. Got 4 picks that I've written down. I want to get what you think, and then we'll hash out our 5th. So far, I've got the Chelsea, Wolfsburg, Man City, double chance treble. Watford and Ipswich, double chance, which is obviously, that was your number 1 weighted pick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Spurs, 2 or more, which is my number 1 weighted pick, and Bolton.
Are we going to put Sunderland double chance in that to get up to just over evens?
Fuck it, yeah. I think you're right, yeah. Although that leaves the Spurs one as an 8 to 11.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Now we've got the Bolton one just over with Sunderland. I think you make up for that with the Spurs at just under.
All right. So now we're looking for 1 more pick.
Yeah. Could you just say your 3-weighted pick again? I've written down the other ones, so I just haven't got them.
Maybe.
If you can find it. Sounds like you've got hundreds of pieces of paper.
I fucking put some effort into this, mate. I'm telling you.
Need to get a notebook, but
I have got a notebook. I just ripped them out before I start. I think was my 3-weight pick not PSG.
I've got
here it is. I got it. Right, so my 6th weighted pick was the Man City. I'll just run through. My 6th weighted pick was the Man City,
Chelsea,
straight double.
Yeah.
My 5th weighted pick was Hull.
Yeah.
My 4th weighted pick was PSG.
Yeah.
My 3rd weighted pick was Bolton.
Okay.
My 2nd weighted pick was Watford, and my 1 weight pick was Spurs.
So we got
2 or more.
We got your top 3 in there as part of.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're all in there some way.
Yeah.
Some way or shape. So yeah, just the 5th pick we're looking for, isn't it?
Yes. I'm off PSG.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't want to put that as one of our picks. I may be wrong, but it's just a couple of things that made me feel potential on the other side.
No, you're spot on there. I think I didn't even take into consideration the sort of cup final aspect of it.
Yeah, it's just potential for it. If it's just a normal game, PSG win that. They've got the better side, haven't they? But I think Lille would be massively up for it.
Well, the only pick I have available then is Hull.
Yeah, it's either we go for Hull or we go for the Porto, Madrid, Napoli treble.
I don't see how that loses.
I think the only potential one would be Porto, but I've done my handicap. They need to win the game, really. And Santa Clara's away record makes me like it even more. Like I said, the European leagues are kind of cuts off top 6. Portuguese leagues probably more top 4, but their record against the 6 teams above them is 2 wins, one draw and 5 losses. So they seem to struggle against the better sides. Porto, unbeaten in 18, and 3 points clear of Benfica makes me like it. But that's the only real one that I can see slipping up. I can't see Madrid or Napoli slipping up. So if you want to put that one in as a 5th pick, I'm more than happy to have that as a 5th.
Yeah, I think so. It's because I'm less inclined for Hull because of it was more of a last minute thing. I spotted it last night.
Yeah.
Just as I was just sort of doing my last minute stuff for this morning, like making sure I'd got everything covered that I wanted to cover. So yeah.
Crew are a strange one as well. That's the only thing that, being a League One fan, I've seen Crew a couple of times against Ipswich this year. They've actually been very good, considering their league table. I think it doesn't really flatter them being. Obviously, it is tight, like you said earlier. A 1 win could take them up to top half, but I think they're better than what the table makes out. So I think maybe the treble would be a little bit safer than the Hull away win.
So that was Madrid, Napoli, and Porto.
Yes.
All straight wins.
All straight wins. They're all on Saturday, I believe.
Okie doke. So that would mean that we have 2 picks for Friday. Wolfsburg are Saturday, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all Saturday, that one.
Yeah, 2 picks for Saturday and one for Sunday.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's our top 5 then. And I just wanted to say, obviously, last month was a winning month.
So yeah, we're now 1st of April, the day of recording this.
Yep.
We've been doing this podcast for 2 months, and we've had 2 winning months.
Yeah.
Considering we were going to probably do NFL over football, and football's a hard market to be a better in, for obvious reasons. Football's the best sport in the world for obvious reasons, because it's unpredictable. So trying to be a better on the football and try constantly make profit, which is what we're trying to do, I think we've done very well for the first 2 months.
Yeah, definitely. And all I will say is roll on the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Even after hearing that NFL handicap, makes you look forward to it a little bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, and it's markedly easier to handicap than our football.
Yeah. So if people don't know, obviously you get a points handicap. You either lay the points, so you get plus points, or you play the negative points, and either side is pretty much even money. So we wouldn't have to have 3 kind of teams in it to make up to even money. Straight side, you either lay the points or play the points, and you're getting even money. So a lot easier to handle.
The other great thing about it is a lot of the games are 4-6 and 5-4, or even money and 8-13, just straight money lines as well. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you just go over the 5 picks just to confirm them in, and then I think
our 5 picks in no particular order are Chelsea, Wolfsburg, and Manchester City double chance as a treble. We have Watford to win and Ipswich double chance as a double. We have Spurs to score 2 or more goals as a single. We have Bolton and Sunderland double chance as a double. And we have Real Madrid, Napoli and Porto as a treble. Those are our 5 picks.
hopefully another winning month. Start the winning month.
Yeah. And then we'll be back with another podcast on Sunday for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Sweet.
Good luck with your bets, lads.
Yeah,
See
take
you
care.
later.
Thanks for watching. Bye.